What's up, y'all? Y'all, let's get right into story time. Y'all, what we got right here is, y'all, we got some wings and we got some, this is some boudin. This is boudin with, mm, this is boudin with, what you said it was? Hold on, y'all, I'm gonna get this. This is boudin with, I don't know. That's boudin tucked in. I don't know what it is, y'all. It's this new spot that's by me that I tried. It tastes okay. It tastes okay, but it's like, it tastes good, but it's regular degular. Like, if you put something in the South that says boudin, baby, you gotta spark it up. You gotta spiff it up. This is some regular degular. Okay, I'm just telling y'all what I know. Y'all, but this is strawberry lemonade. One of my expertise. I don't know if y'all can see that. With them fresh strawberries in there, okay. Cause baby, if you ain't got fresh strawberries in the lemonade, what are you doing? Mm, okay. Ain't nothing like an ice cold lemonade on a hot summer day. What you say? Now, y'all, these are chicken wings. Now, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I did eat some already. I'm gonna eat a couple more, but these right here is garlic parmesan. Not gonna hold you on it. This is a fresh, fried, crispy chicken wing. Yeah. I don't know what happened to the garlic parmesan. It must be that special kind. That new age kind, cause baby, it ain't giving no garlic, it ain't giving no parmesan, but it is giving fresh crispy, okay? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Now, y'all, let's get right into the story. Mm. Hey, this story's off the chain, baby. Mm. This story is straight up about, baby, you got to know your worth so you can put tax on it. Okay. I'm going to say that again. Know your worth so you can put a tax on it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Surely is. Because you surely need to, baby. Mm-hmm. Now, I ain't want to be rude and pick my teeth like that, y'all. But straight up real, I'm only human. And if I got something in my tooth or between my teeth, no cap, I'm going to pick it out because all that money I spent on the dentist, baby, yeah, never again. I don't care where I'm at, baby. If something in my tooth, I'm going to get it out. Surely is. Because that's the mind games they be playing on us. Oh, don't be picking your teeth out in public, baby. I know you lying. Because when I had to go to that public dentist and he charged me all that public money, oh, baby, I mean, I could be in public and private, on the stage, in a show, in a concert, on an interview. Baby, I don't care where I'm at. I'm getting it out. Getting it out. Getting it out immediately. Immediately, no. Immediately, no. Yes. Yes. I was talking to my mama the other day on FaceTime and she saw me picking my teeth. She talking about, you know that's rude, baby. What? Baby, what? No, what's rude is when I went to that dentist and he gave me that bill. He gave me that bill and told me that's what I had to pay. Now that's rude and disrespectful. I'm being cordial, baby. I'm being cordial. Anyways, y'all, I know I'm getting off track. Let me get to the story because this story is off the chain. You hear me? Okay. Y'all, this the best lemonade I done had in a while. What? I should have spiked it a little bit. Cause what ain't nothing like some good spiked lemonade? What? Okay. Mm. And let me stop being a deep throat and tell y'all about this story though. Mm. I had to take one more sip, baby, just one more. But anyways, y'all, this story about my homegirl, because I was chilling with my homegirl the other day, and she was really aggravating me. Like, she was getting on my last nerves, like, for real, for real. But I put up with it because I knew she was going through something and she needed somebody to talk to. So I'm always a listening ear. I surely am. But why she was getting on my nerves, y'all, because she come over my house and she like, well, Zen, I'm upset. And I'm like, well, what you upset about? Cause girl, I ain't finna play no guessing games with you. I'm surely not. Like, that's why I'm not in a relationship. I'm not guessing. If you can't tell me straight up what time it is, baby, I would never know. Cause I really don't care. Okay. So what are you upset about? Cause I ain't guessing at it. So she tell me she upset because her ex boyfriend got a new girlfriend. So I'm like, girl, why you upset about that? Cause last I checked, didn't you break up with him? Like it's giving me kind of narcissistic vibes. So why you upset that he moved on? And she said, well, I'm not upset that he moved on. I'm kind of just upset because I feel like, he everything he doing with her, I wanted him to do with me. So I was like, well, now you're giving me stalker vibes because how do you know what he doing with her to even compare? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know exactly what he doing? So she like, well, I could tell, and basically, what she was saying was, see, there was a lot of things in their relationship that basically he never did. And one of the things was like she felt like he always hid her. Like he's hiding me. Nobody knows about me. This type of thing. So that was one of the things that she said, like, hey, he posting her on social media and stuff. And I'm like, girl, but okay, let's just entertain this for a second. Even if it's true, why are you still upset about that? And so she was like, honestly, it just makes me feel bad because I feel like, the man I wanted him to be, he couldn't be that man with me, but he's being that with her. And I said, okay, but once again, why does that upset you? Because you broke up with him because you found out that what? That's not the person for you. So why are you mad? And so basically, she was like, I just want to know, like, why was I not good enough? Because basically what she was saying was she felt like that she invested a lot into him. She said, I feel like I did a lot for him. I invested a lot and that got me nothing in return. So now I was like, girl, now I agree with you on that because no lie. I knew you was doing too much when I called you that one day and you told me that you was making up his bed. I said, girl, I knew you was doing too much right then. Because I'm going to tell y'all why I said that, y'all. Because see, I know that he don't got no bed. He got two mattresses on the floor. And baby, two mattresses on the floor ain't no bed. That's a rug. Okay, that's a rug, baby. And ain't no way I'm finna be making up a rug. Okay, I'ma sleep on that rug. I'ma get up, sweep that thing off, and keep on moving, baby. But I ain't finna be making up no rug. Not at all, baby. So I told her I knew you was doing too much then, baby. So she talking about Zen, I'm serious. You need to be serious. Girl, I'm so serious right now. Two mattresses on the floor is a rug, okay? You're doing too much by making it up. But carry on, girl. I'm listening. So she just started telling me about the stuff that they went through. Now I knew about some of it, but a couple things I didn't know. So I knew about the one time. Now keep in mind, y'all, they had been dating for like maybe 7 to 8 months by this time. And she had called me because she wanted to go shopping because basically she was going to one of his family events. Like it was a family gathering or something. And she was excited because this was the first time she was meeting his family. So she was like, come on, Zen, I want you to go shopping with me and help me pick out something to wear. And I told her straight up, I said, girl, you want me to help you pick out something to wear? You gonna walk in them people event looking like a straight up man. Yeah, I'm gonna have you walking up in there looking like a stud, baby, because I'm finna go get you some hoochie daddy shorts with a t-shirt with some Jordans or something. Like, girl, what? What am I supposed to help you find? Girl, no. But anyways, y'all, so I went with her and she picked out a little cute little outfit or whatever. I let her do her thing. I was just there for more support because I was like, girl, I can show you how to be the best stud you could be. Okay, if that's what you want, but I can't do all that other stuff. So she ended up getting a nice outfit, y'all, and they end up going to this event. Now, y'all, she kept saying it was an event, but y'all, it was just a straight up barbecue. I'm gonna just tell y'all what it was. It was a barbecue. I don't know why she kept saying event. It was a barbecue. Meat on the grill, drinks, people hanging out, barbecue. Okay. So, anyways, they get to this barbecue, and once they get to his mama house where the barbecue was at, they walk in, and mind y'all, it's a lot of people there because they got people there from out of town. They got local relatives. Like this is a big family barbecue. So they walk in, and he say, "Hey, y'all, this is Tamika." He don't put no label on it. He don't say girlfriend. He don't say friend. He don't say none of that. He just say Tamika. So off top, she already mad. Now, as soon as he introduced her, he end up going to the backyard because that's where all the men were at. The men were in the backyard, barbecuing and stuff. And the females, they was just like all over the house. You know what I'm saying? Some was in the kitchen, some was in the living room, some was in the dining room. They was just chilling. So she was already upset because A, he didn't introduce her as his girlfriend. B, he just pretty much left her to fend for herself. So she say she ended up hanging out with like some of his cousins or something who was like drinking mimosas or whatever. Know what they was drinking, but they was drinking something. And so she say, as soon as she walk up to talk to them, they like, "Oh, who are you? We ain't never seen you before." And so she was like, "Oh, my name's Tamika. I'm Terry girlfriend." So they was like, "Terry got a girlfriend?" So everybody like, "What? We didn't know Terry had a girlfriend." So she felt some type of way by that. Now keep in mind, y'all, they didn't treat her no type of way, but she was just upset because nobody knew about her. And they had been together going on like 7 or 8 months. So anyway, so she spent time, she was talking with them, everything was cool. So I'm gonna say a few hours go by and she end up running into his dad. So now she having a conversation with his dad, and she said, she was talking to him for about like 10 minutes, and at the end of the conversation, he was like, "You a nice young lady. You a nice, well respectable young lady. This is the type of lady my son needs today. He need to date more women like you. Like, do you know my son?" Not even knowing that's his son's girlfriend. So that was the final straw for her. She was upset. So after that, she went to the car and she called me. Now I remember this day particular because when she called me, she was so mad and she was like, "I want to leave him. I want to go." I said, "Girl, how you gonna leave him and then he drive his car? Like you can't just take that man's car. That's called theft. That's called stealing. Okay, if you're gonna try to leave him, you need to get an Uber or something. Like what?" But anyway, so she called me because at this point, that's how mad she was. Now, y'all, when she called me, I didn't tell her exactly what she needed to know at that very moment because it wasn't appropriate, okay? Because realistically, my first thought was, you ain't his girl. Like, if they don't know about you, sweetie, bookie, I don't know if you really his girl or not. Like, I don't know. But anyways, I was like, "Girl, don't worry about it. You having a good time. Just go in there, finish having a good time. And then once y'all leave the event, just, talk to him about it." So she said, "Okay." So long story short, they finished out the little barbecue get together, and so when they leave, she confronted him about it. Like, "Yo, why nobody knew about me?" And so he was like, "Well, it's not like I was trying to hide you or something. It's like it just never came up. There was never a right time." And he was like, "I'm not trying to hide you. That's why I invited you," which kind of made sense to me at the same time too. So once he explained it, I'm like, "Well, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like if he didn't take you seriously, I don't think he would have invited you to the event. But then again, you never know." So I told her straight up, I kind of understand his side of things as well. But I would have felt some type of way too, though. No cap, I would have. So that was one event that happened, and she didn't like that at all. Now there was another event that happened that basically, I'm gonna say a month later, um I felt like he kind of used her a little bit. Now keep in mind, not use her as in using her for money or nothing like that, because he do got his own money. He got a nice job. He got his own place. He got his own car. He doing his own thing. But why I say I felt like he was kind of using her because see, at one time I'm gonna say this was like a month later. He had to do something to his house or something like that. I think he was getting like renovations done. It was some kind of renovations or whatever that was getting done to his house. And so basically, he ended up staying at her house for 3 months. Now, keep in mind, she volunteered for him to stay there. And she said straight up, even when she talked to me about it, she was like, "Yeah, I just want him to stay with me, and I'm not gonna charge him no money because, I'm just doing him a favor. And I feel like I'm being a good girlfriend." Because keep in mind, he still got his own place, it's just getting renovated. So she was like, "Yeah, he ain't got to pay me nothing. He could just stay with me, because I got to pay rent regardless if he there or not. So, it'll be a win-win for me. And I get to be with my man all day." I said, "Okay, yeah, cool." So he stayed there for 3 months. Everything was cool. They was having a good time. Now, as soon as his place got done being renovated, they started staying over his house. And so they was over his house for, I'm going to say, like a month and a half. that she pretty much stayed there. She didn't go home because I guess they was tired of being at her house since they had been there for like 3 months. So she said after she was there for like a month and a half, he straight up told her, "Listen, you've been here for a month and a half. You need to give me something on these bills." Yeah, he straight up told her like, "You've been here for a month and a half. I ain't saying you got to pay my bills, but you could pitch in and you could help." Now, I did feel some type of way about that only because it was like, okay, you stayed with her for 3 months and she straight up didn't charge you anything. But nah, she come to your house and stay with you for a month and a half and she gotta pay you rent, knowing that she still got her own place that she's paying rent at. But now keep in mind, like I told her, I said I personally would have had a problem with that. But at the same time, I can't say he wrong because keep in mind, everybody got their boundaries. Like, you can't expect you to be everybody else. Cause just cause you would do something don't mean everybody else will do it. So I was like, I kind of would feel some way about it, but at the same time, I understand his point of view because that's he think differently. Now, the reason why I say I felt like he was using her at that point, because let's say you truly feel that way, right? And obviously he do. He feel like, hey, if you be at my house for a month and a half, you need to give me something on rent. The problem with that is if you really feel that way, right? If you really feel that way, when you stayed with her for 3 months while your house was getting renovated, wouldn't at some point you would have volunteered some money? Like, hey, listen, I know I don't stay here or nothing, but I've been here 3 months, so here's a little something on your bills. Because if that's your mentality and you're not trying to get over on people, you're gonna feel that way no matter which situation you're in. So that's the only reason why I told her I kind of see it his way, I kind of see it your way, but at the end of the day, I classify it as yeah, you getting over because if that's what you believe, then you're gonna believe it regardless. You're gonna believe it whether you're getting paid or whether you're paying someone else. So yeah, after all that happened, y'all, I feel like that was the beginning of the end to their relationship because although she didn't break up with him, she kept talking about it. She kept mentioning it. And so the final straw for her was is when she finally was able to get into his phone. Because see, after she had went to that family event, she was adamant and always talking about how she needed to get in his phone. Because basically she wanted to see was he talking to other women. Because she could not understand why they had been dating for like 8 to 7 months at that time, and none of his family knew about her. So she wanted to go through his phone to see was he talking to other women. Now I kind of feel bad because I kind of told her the code to his phone. No, let me rephrase that. I did not tell her the code to his phone. I didn't tell her the code to his phone, but I told her basically how she can easily figure it out. So long story short, y'all, he got one of those new locks on his house. You know those new locks where you can use a key to get in or you can type in the code. Well, he never gave her a key, but he gave her the code. And so that was another thing that she was kind of upset about. But like I told her, I was like, girl, not really. Because see, I done gave somebody a code before, right? Only one person because I really haven't been serious with nobody like that to like just straight up get them a key to my place. But I did give somebody the code. And I'm a firm believer of giving people the code instead of the key. Because see, if I give you the code to get in my house, if I don't want you to come in my house no more, I could just change that code. I mean, I can give you the code right now, and 2 seconds later, I could change the code and you can't get in. Versus if I give you a key to my house, even though you give me the key back, how do I know you ain't going to make a copy? So this is why I believe in the code. So yeah, baby, if you're dealing with me, you get in the code, not a key. Okay, it's 2024. You get in the code to the door. Yeah. Now that's just my opinion, y'all. But and she was like, well, basically she had a problem with that, and I said I understand it because if you dating me, dating gets you a code, marriage gets you a key. Just that simple with me. So anyway, so she kept complaining she needed to get in this phone, y'all. So I told her straight up, I said, why don't you think you already got the code to the phone? So she like, what you mean, Zen? I don't got the code. He never gave it to me. I said, well, me just going off of what typical people do. Normally, people use the same code for everything. I said, so you got the code to his house to get in his house. I can bet you that's the code to unlock his phone. And y'all, because that's what the average person is going to use the same code for everything. This is why I personally use different codes for everything because I know that hey, The average person use the same code. So that's what I told her. I said, I think you already got the code to the phone. And it's the same code you used to get in his house. And y'all, tell me why she tried the code, and that was the code to unlock the phone. Yes. And when she went in that phone, that was the beginning to the end. That was the beginning to the end. Now this is the thing. When she go on the phone, she don't find that he talking to other women, but she do find a group text message with him and all his friends. So I said, girl, but it don't make sense to me, because if he's not talking to other women, what was in that text so incriminating to make you want to break up with him? Now, y'all, I automatically assumed it was a guy. So I'm like, he dating guys? Because there wasn't no female. Is it a male? And she like, no. And I said, so what did you find? So she starts explaining to me that, she was like, it was a couple conversations to where like he's giving girl a compliment, like, oh yeah, she look good, oh yeah, she pretty, or she fine, typical guy stuff. But nothing like he's dating somebody. So I'm like, girl, well, what's the problem? Because that's typical like energy. Like me, I would expect to go through anybody group text and you're gonna be talking like that. As long as you don't act on it, I'm not gonna be too much worried about it. But so she goes on to say the problem was in this group text, anytime he mentioned her name, it was something negative. So basically, he was in this group text message just complaining about everything she do. She said this man had not one good thing to say about her, not one good thing. And I said, not one thing? And she said, no, not one good thing. So, y'all, just for an example, he might be in the text messages saying something like, man, she been over here for 3 days. I'm getting tired of it. I need my space. And his friends might respond something like, well, at least she got a house to go to. And because, see, that was one of the things she was saying. She was like, the dude that I'm dating has nothing positive to say about me, nothing good to say about me, but his friends that don't even know me, they know of me, pretty much has good things to say about me. So she was saying basically he was selling her out and his friends were taking up for her. And they was taken up for her in the sense because they'll be like, for an example, hey, she been over here 3 days, man. I need my space. And they'll be like, well, at least she got a house to go to. Just tell her you need some space. It can't be that bad. Or he might be like, say something like, man, she want me to come pick her up because we finna go out for a day. I don't want to pick her up. She need to drive her own car. His friends might say, well, at least she got her own car to drive. So anytime that he would complain about her, his friends would like rebuttal and say, well, bro, it's not as bad as you think. So she was like, yeah, I'm finna break up with him because he don't have nothing good to say about me. And people that don't even know me have good things to say about me. So long story short, she broke up with him. And so they haven't been together since then. And so this is why now she's saying, when I was talking to her the other day, that she's upset that he got a new girlfriend because she feel like, hey, he was never that man to me. He never complimented me. He never appreciated me. But now he has a new girlfriend and he's appreciating her and he's giving her everything that I wanted. So I said, well, how do you know that he's giving her everything that you wanted? And she said, I could tell. Because so basically, she's been following them on social media and stuff like that. So then, after once she tell me that, y'all, I tell her straight up. Once she tell me that, y'all, I tell her straight up. I said, let me ask you a question. Do you realize why you broke up with him? She said, yeah, I know I broke up with him. That group text, that was the final straw for me. He didn't have nothing but bad things to say about me. I said, well, so now that you said that, I'm going to ask you one more time. Why are you upset that he done moved on? And she just said, I don't understand because what makes me not good enough? I did everything a girlfriend's supposed to do for him. I was nice to him, I took care of him. I wasn't the best person, but I wasn't the worst bad girlfriend. I just want to know what makes me not worthy of him treating me that way. And she was like, it don't make no sense to me, Zen. It just don't make no sense. And I told her, I said, well, it makes perfectly good sense to me. And I told her, I said, you keep saying you broke up with him because of what you read in that group text, but I don't think you're realizing what you read in the group text. And what you read in the group text is this man don't know your worth. See, this man don't know your worth. This is why he was in that group text and he had nothing but bad things to say about you. But people that don't even know you but know of you had some good things to say about you because those people recognize your worth more than he did. This is why when he complaining saying, I'm tired of her being there, they're saying, well, at least she got a house to go to. They recognize your worth. He didn't. Hey, she want me to come pick her up to go on this date. Why can't she drive herself? Well, at least she got a car she can drive. Just communicate with her. So you got a man that you're dating who can't recognize your worth. People that don't know you, only know of you, only heard about you, and they can recognize your worth better than he can. That's why you left him. So yes, it's making perfectly clearly good sense to me. This man was never gonna treat you that way. Why? Because he hasn't recognized your worth. So the best thing you did was leave. Because y'all make no mistake, whenever you deal with people that don't recognize your worth, the longer you deal with them, you will become a cheaper version of yourself. I'm going to say that again. The more you deal with people that do not recognize your worth, you will become a cheaper version of yourself. And that's because when you deal with people that don't recognize your worth, you start accepting things that you know you don't deserve. You start accepting things that you know that you deserve better. And what that do, it eats away at your confidence. And the more it eats away at your confidence, you start to lose the perception of yourself. You start to lose the perception of your value. Because the more that you accept things that you don't deserve, you're gonna be easy. It's gonna become easier and easier and easier to accept things that you don't deserve. And now this is how you become a cheaper version of yourself. And I told her that the best thing you did was leave. The man don't know your value. Probably was gonna never recognize it because if he have not recognized it in the time that y'all were dating, baby, he's not going to because he's not trying to. Either he don't want to or he don't care. Either way it go, get the hell up out of there. Okay, either way it go, it ain't your job to figure out why he can't see your worth. It's your job to know your worth so you can go where you're respected. You can go places where people do know your worth. It's just that simple, y'all. And she was like, Zen, you know what? That makes sense, Zen. That makes perfectly good sense, but I still really don't get it. I don't understand. I said, so you don't understand? She was like, no, because but why do people not see people worth? I said, let me tell you something, girl, because I think you're focusing on the wrong thing. And as humans, we tend to do that. We tend to focus on things that really is not what we should be focusing on. The point of the matter is your worth is your value, and you are to accept nothing less than what you're worth. It doesn't matter what this person think you're worth. It doesn't matter what that person think you're worth. Because this is the thing. People like different things. This is why some people wear Nikes, some people wear Reeboks, some people drive Mercedes Benz, some people drive BMW. Just that plain and simple. Okay? So it's not your job to wonder why everybody won't receive you the way they need to. It's not your job. So I gave her an example. I said, let me give you, I said, the best way I can explain it to you is like this. Have you ever noticed that every store always have a clearance section? If you're going shopping, you're going, you're shopping for clothes or whatever, you're going to the grocery store, every store has a clearance section. Why? It's multiple reasons why it's a clearance section. If you're in the grocery store, this item could be going bad, so the value has went down, right? If you're in a clothes store or a gadget store, a store that sell different products, it might be on clearance because it's not selling as fast as they thought it was going to sell, right? It's all based on supply and demand. How many were made? How many were sold? So let's take this Jordan. Let's take the shoe Jordan for example. When Jordan released a new pair of shoes, they make millions of them. They make millions of shoes. They're released in California, New York, Texas, Florida. These shoes are released everywhere. And this is why a pair of Jordans can be worth 200 a day and they can sell for 50 tomorrow. But see, it's supply and demand. That's how it works. How fast are these shoes selling? How many people are buying them? All that matters. But when you talk about human beings, when you talk about people, when you talk about us, supply and demand always works in our favor. Why? Because there's only one of you. See, when they make Jordans, when they make these products, they make multiples, they make millions. There's only one of you. Can't be replaced. When you gone, there's no more. Can't duplicate you. They can copy you, but there would never be a same you. There would never be another you. Never. Never. Never another you. So when you talk about human beings, baby, your worth, your value should always increase, never decrease. Because, baby, they can't make another you. So your supply and demand always works in your favor. And this is why it's important to know your worth. That's not to say that everybody gonna like you. But guess what? The people that know your value will know your worth. And you will be treated as such. So when I told her that, she was like, well, Zen, that kind of makes sense, but I still don't understand. She was like, I'm not gonna lie, Zen, I totally understand what you're saying, but for some reason it don't make me feel better. So now I'm sitting here thinking, because I'm like, it don't make you feel better? Why? And she's like, well, because it just don't make me feel better. So I said, well, why don't it make you feel better? Because I'm still at this point, I still can't really grasp what she's having a hard time, understanding. And so, like I tell her, so another example I give her, I'm like, I used to deal with this lady one time, and this cool lady, but I'm gonna tell you why I never really got into a deep relationship with this lady, because she would always let it be known that, hey, everybody likes me. Everywhere I go, everybody likes me. Everybody likes me, right? But what she failed to understand is people didn't like her, right? People like the person that she portrayed to be. And the reason I say that, because what she liked, her interests, things she liked to do, things she enjoyed, always changed depending on who she was hanging around. So, for an example, if she was hanging around a group of people and their favorite color was purple, her favorite color was purple. If she was hanging around a group of people and they hated eggs, she didn't like eggs. So it's not that everybody liked her. It's not that everybody accepted her. It's like, lady, you don't know your value. You don't know your worth. So you're just being what people want you to be. And that's the number one way how you spot a person who don't know their worth. Because people who genuinely know their worth understand that I'm not going to be liked everywhere I go. I ain't going to have problems. I'm not going to get into it. But people who know their worth tends to be the most hated, disliked people in this world. Why? Because they don't change their values, they don't change their wants, they don't change none of that to fit in with the crowd. So they might walk into a room of people that hate eggs, and they might whip out a boiled egg and start eating it because they don't care what people think. And that's what that lady failed to understand. Baby, they don't like you everywhere you go. Yeah, they like the person you present to them. And I never got into a deep relationship with her because those are people I can't trust. I can't trust a person that doesn't know their worth, because, baby, you could be bought and sold at the drop of a dime. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't know your worth, so I can't trust you with my life. And if I'm in a relationship with you, essentially, I'm trusting you with my life. Because make no mistake, y'all, if a person is close enough to love you and help you, they also close enough to hurt you. I'm gonna say that again. If a person is close enough to you to love you and help you, they also close enough to hurt you. So I never got into a deep relationship with that lady because of that reason. Cool lady, just couldn't get over that one thing about her, right? So I told her that, and she said, "Well, Zen, I get it, but it still don't make me feel better." Hmm. So I said, well, just give me an example why you don't feel better, because it's really bothering me now that I can't understand why she can't accept he's moved on when this is not a man that she wanted to be with. And so she tells me straight up, she said, well, now that I'm seeing the man that he became, I feel like maybe I could have put more into this relationship. Maybe I should have held on a little bit longer. Maybe if I would have stayed with him, eventually he would have became the person that I wanted. And I said, well, okay, hold on, because now you're talking about two different things here. I said, now this is where your faith come in at. And I'm not here to discuss religion. You believe what you believe, but I'm saying this is where your faith come in at. Because for an example, for me, I believe that, hey, I'm supposed to attract, not chase. So if I leave you alone because you don't recognize my value, I'm content with that because my faith has kicked in that baby, I'm supposed to attract, not chase. And the more I deal with a person who's not reciprocating with me or giving me things that I need, baby, I'm chasing you. I'm chasing you because I'm trying to change you, because I'm trying to make you be the person that I want you to be instead of attracting the people that I need around me. I'm trying to chase this person down and mold them and fix them to be what I need. And so no, that's going against my beliefs. So I'm like, this is where your belief kicked in. It has to kick in. You have to know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. That's just your belief system. You have to know. You have to know that. So now you're talking about two different things here. You know, you got self-worth and you got your belief system. And that's two different things. So that's what I told her. I'm like, so that sounds like more of a spiritual journey to me. If you feel like you should have stayed with somebody who didn't recognize your value because now and that's what I told her. I'm like, the main thing I tried to get across to her is just because somebody don't recognize your value don't make them a bad person. It just makes them not your person. Because once again, some people wear Nike, some people wear Reebok, some people drive Benz, some people drive BMW. Everybody like different things. So she was like, "Well, that's true, Zen, but I don't know. Something just don't sit right with me. I just feel like why is he moving on and why is happily ever after?" So once she said that, it clicked in my head. Okay, this is what she having a problem with. Once she said it's not making sense to her why he got a happily ever after, it clicked in my head what her problem was. So I asked her straight up. I said, "Let me ask you a question. Would you feel better about your decision if he was suffering?" So she like, "Wait, hold on, Zen. I'm not a bad person. I'm not an evil person. I don't want nobody to suffer. Why would you ask me that? You know me. You know me better than everybody. You know I ain't like that." I said, "Hold on, girl. Calm down. Because I ain't accusing you of nothing." I said, "But see, everybody say they don't want people to suffer, but in the reality they do. So let me rephrase this question for you. Would you feel better if he was still single? Or let's say he got into this relationship with this lady and this lady was taking advantage of him. This lady was using him. This lady was playing him. Would you feel better about your decision of leaving him?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Exactly. So you want him to suffer. You want him to suffer." Which brings me back to my next question. Like I said, just because a person doesn't recognize your value doesn't mean they're a bad person. They're just not your person. Because see, the truth of the matter, like I told her, like he didn't really abuse you in any kind of way. Okay, his morals probably ain't 100% intact because he stayed with you for 3 months, didn't pay you, but you stayed with him for a month and a half, and he want to be paid. Okay, but other than that, he just straight up didn't recognize your value. He didn't cheat on you. He didn't hit you. He didn't steal from you. And it's clear why he did the things he did because he didn't see your value. So in return, he wasn't investing into you. You saw his value, so you said, "Come stay with me for 3 months, don't pay me nothing." He didn't see your value. You've been here for a month and a half, pay me. I said, "It's clear." And I said, "You know what, girl? Think about it like this. The best example that I can give her, I said, let's look at it from a Rolls Royce point of view. Do you ever wonder why you don't see Rolls Royce commercials? That's a nice car. Nice car. Worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money and it's a nice car. But do you wonder why you don't see that commercials? You see, you don't see that commercials because Rolls Royce understands their value. Rolls Royce understands that the average person that would see that commercial can't afford their vehicle. They know that. So what Rolls Royce did is they started a campaign and they set up a marketing system to market to the people that can afford them. See, Rolls Royce understood that we don't need to chase people down to buy our cars. We don't need to put all these advertisement dollars in these commercials and advertise to people who can't afford us. Nah, we need to attract the people who can't afford us. So Rolls Royce understood they needed to attract, not chase. But now, did you see Rolls Royce get on TV and start a commercial or advertising campaign saying, hey man, Rolls Royce is the best car. It's worth the money. And if you can't drive a Rolls Royce, you deserve to walk. That's the only type of advertisement they will be able to make that will even make sense. Yeah, if you can't buy a Rolls Royce, then you deserve to walk. They didn't do that. Instead, they said, you know what? The average person can't afford our vehicle, so what we gonna do? We gonna stay out their way. We gonna stay out their way. We ain't finna waste our dollars advertising to them because they can't afford it. So what we gonna do is start a marketing system to attract the people that can afford us. And that's the mentality that you gotta have with your self-worth. Don't waste time thinking, why can't people see my worth? No, you got to focus on why is it hard for you to understand that everybody won't see your worth, and for that reason and that reason only, never stay too long when a person don't see your worth, because you only become a cheaper version of yourself. Understand that you need to attract, not chase. And once you understand that, you ain't even gonna be focused on the people that don't see your worth, because they just don't. Everybody like different things. Nobody is the same. But make no mistake, when it comes to supply and demand, baby, that's in your favor. There's only one of you, can't be duplicated. Once you're gone, that's it. Only thing you can leave on this earth is a legacy. So stop worrying about people not knowing your value, not knowing your worth. Just focus on training yourself not to deal with people who don't know it, who don't see it. Because when you do, you become a cheaper version of yourself. Why? Because it's eating away at your confidence. And once your confidence is gone, baby, you will accept anything. You can't put too much time and effort trying to figure out why people treat you the way they treat you, handle you the way they handle you. Your only job is to master yourself. The only person you can control is yourself. So the way that you control your value, your worth, is by mastering yourself. Do not deal with people too long that don't see your worth, because you're going to become a cheaper version of yourself. And now you're dealing with more problems. Master yourself. The only time that you pay attention to why people treat you the way they treat you, if it's something that you're lacking that you need to correct on yourself. Focus on yourself, because when it comes to supply and demand, it always works in our favor. We're human. We can't be replaced. We can't be duplicated. So know your worth so you can understand your value and put tax on it.